and I'm so happy about it. I'm finally doing what I've been wanting to do. Alright, let's talk all things starting YouTube late. Hi, I'm Alia, and since I was a kid, as so many other people in my generation, I've been videotaping the most ridiculous things in my life. Things that I want to do before I turn 18. I have pretended to be a YouTuber or to do hauls and all these things because that's what we grow up with. That's what we grow up consuming and watching. And Gen Z, we are the generation of people who have grown up, who have been born into a world where social media has not really existed yet. There was Facebook, there was, what was that thing called? Cloud something, you know? But we are the generation that has grown up with all the social media being born into the world. We saw the rise of Kik, of Snapchat, of Instagram, TikTok, which used to be Musical.ly, all of these things that are now a normality and have been integrated with marketing strategies and even in political terms and worlds, and it's a normality in our everyday life. And it's sick in my head to think that this is a normality that the generations now, that Generation Alpha and any other, even younger Gen Z generations are witnessing and are born into. It's crazy for me to think that that is our world now. On the other hand, there's also so many upsides like this. How amazing is it that I can just share my thoughts and feelings with you, essentially a stranger? How cool is that? No, I'm not going to go into my story of being on and off social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that. But what I want to talk about is how lost I am feeling about finally doing the one thing that I always wanted to do. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Please don't judge me. Reporting live from the dance studio for capoeira. Honestly, I should be vlogging. I'd be doing the most amazing, interesting shit. Because if we don't stay true to ourselves and to each other especially as well, the world would be an even darker place. Why am I doing all these videos? And you know what? I keep on saying that. Essentially, I wanted to do a whole series of finally doing it. You know, me finally doing all the things that I've wanted to do in my life, which essentially only really came down to, Aaliyah, you've never done anything with your writing, which I still haven't done. You've never started that YouTube channel you wanted to start since you were probably a little tween doing hauls about drugstore makeup or your Christmas hauls. The YouTube channel you wanted to do when you would finish high school that you never got started on. After finishing high school until 3 years later when you finally were done with your bachelor. I just think I feel really lost because when I started this, which was maybe half a year ago, I really just started still trying to figure out how to do it and what to do. I also like this whole diary thing, you know, documenting like self-improvement kind of direction, documenting my journey of finally starting to do the things that I want to do. Yeah, I feel like self-improvement wise, I've already for a while been doing the things like routines and like taking care of yourself, skincare, hobbies, me dates. I've already been doing that for like a good year or two. So I don't think doing a self-improvement journey series would be sensible, but self-realization would be a sensible one. I am feeling a lot of joy with doing this and sharing my journey with people. I just really, really love it. And I'm still kind of finding this series and video topics that I want to do. I knew that I wanted to do audiovisual art, focusing on identity with mixed migration background and living in different places, you know, culture, languages, roots, diaspora. That's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to call it Post-Migrant Series. At the time I was living in Istanbul, I started doing some vlogs, put that up. And then I also noticed that I love talking. A year ago, before I even started a YouTube channel, I would record my voice in terms of my podcast, which I never actually started because I wasn't so sure about the things I was talking about or the fact that it was really just a rant. So I still have that footage, but the whole podcast idea turned into what I called the spoken corner, which are just spoken videos of me. And then now, just a few weeks ago, I started a new concept called the reading corner, where I wanted to start a new concept where I would be a virtual reading buddy for whoever was reading the same book as me, which was Akatar. And now that I have all these different ideas of things that I like doing, I don't know what to focus on. Do I need to have a niche? Can I just disregard that and do everything? Which I would say that's what I would like to do. But overall, I've had this crisis today, this moment where I was like, Alia, nobody's going to care about how disorganized you are and inconsistent with all this different stuff that you upload because nobody's consistently watching it except for you. What a rude thought to have. What a rude thought, honestly, to have. Just completely disrespecting yourself and the time and energy you put into anything. But that's the thing. You try to make everything so perfectly. You try to cut the video so nicely, and all the time and effort you put into, you don't even know if it's gonna, take off. You don't know if it's gonna be a success. But then again, what is a success? What is success to you? Is success that you learn something from the craft that you're doing? Or is success, oh no, I need to get the 100 million or 10,000 views, or I need to get 1,000 views, a few hundred are not enough. What is success? I think success is supposed to be consistency in growth. You need to be consistently growing. Now, if that is in numbers, if that is in skills, if that is in knowledge, as long as you're growing, you are staying consistent and you are seeing an outcome. Growth. And the thing is, you could stop right now. You could give up right now. I could stop right now. Heck, I could give up right now, here and now. Instead, I decided to set up this camera and talk about this. Why? I don't know. But that's the thing. I've always had the urge to just do that. So I'm trying to figure that out. Because I don't want to be 90 years old or God forbid, in the situation where I will regret not having have done that. And people might call you a fool. They say, what the frick are you even doing? But that's the thing, it's so easy to say that because someone is in the beginning phase of something that could be something. You never know what is going to be something. And either way, you can continue doing something that gives you, if it gives you pleasure, if it gives you joy, if you're growing. I've learned so much from the few videos I've uploaded on this channel so far. And every single person, even if I'm just in a 60 streak right now, although this channel has been up for months, I'm so honored for every single person that may leave a like or a comment or watch my video or even subscribe. That is an absolute pleasure. And I know the two people in my mind that are consistently watching my videos. Two people close to me, where I'm like, you are my number one fan. You are both my number one fan. And, that's something that is invaluable. Support is invaluable. Okay, Elia, but where are you trying to go with this video? That's a good question and totally fair that you ask. Right now I'm looking around trying to look for that answer myself, honestly. I guess what I'm doing is inviting you to be a part of this journey, and this will finally be my finally doing it series, because I've seen what people do out there. They say there was this one amazing genius YouTuber, she started a whole series on finally like testing if you can actually glow up. She was testing if you can actually glow up in 6 months. I'll put it somewhere here. I mean, I thought that was a genius idea, and that's what I was inspired by. But then I thought to myself, I don't think there's anything in my life where I feel like I want to glow up as a person, except for the one part, and that is this. The one part where I say to myself, you can do so much better, and that is my creative artistic work. I don't just do videos, I also write, and like so many other people out there, that maybe it's like talent or skill that I may have. There will always be people that are better at, the stuff that you do, stuff that I do, but there will always be people that are also not as good at the stuff that you do, at the stuff that I do. So essentially, you just need to own up to what you can do with your skills, your talents, with your wit, with your mind. Because I think essentially that's what life is also about. So this is going to be my introductory little motivational speech of the Finally Doing It series. Essentially, I had started this already months ago, but I never had enough footage to actually do something with it. I told myself, Aaliyah, this is going to be your project for the next months and weeks, and you will just consistently start recording something and updating, and then you will start cutting these videos on the side. But no, if you're going to do a whole series, you need to do a focus on it as well. Yeah, and I'm feeling so good. I feel like I'm finding my format. I've started the post-migrant works, I've done the vlogs, I've done the spoken corner, and then I'm starting this reading corner stuff. But essentially what I've learned, the biggest lesson I've learned, is that if you don't plan out something productively, or at least if you don't think your vision through, it's not gonna come off as great. It's gonna be confusing. So the reading corner, I started that. I just started videotaping myself reading and just shouting out what I thought was great and bad, and I was able to do something with that. But I needed to think it through first and figure out a structure after I recorded everything. It's the little things we learn to change. Let's see what will come of this. I have no idea, complete uncertainty. But, it's always those moments that are most exciting, I find. So, let's see. Oh, and also, if you're gonna do this, don't be lazy. Whatever you're gonna do in life, don't be fucking lazy. Because I have so much incredible time on my hands. And what do I do with it? Not enough. I could be sitting here editing 6 hours a day. But do I do that? No. So, get to it. It doesn't matter what job you're going to do in life. It's not about, finding a job, a work, a passion, a life mission that is going to give you joy 24/7. No, because that doesn't exist. But that's why we have these different categories in life that all together give us the joy in life. If we're talking about career, passion, life mission, you need to find something that will give you the most joy, that you will enjoy most at the most stressful times. For me, it will be easier to enjoy something like this, or writing, or, something in my field of interest. Something creative will give me so much more pleasure than sitting in a 9-to-5 finance job, which I could never even do because math is not my thing. But you see, here, that will give me more joy, even if I will still feel lost. But this would destroy my soul and my spirit. Anyway, you do you, honey boo, and maybe I'll see you around. I'm really lost because I have a lot of different formats I don't think I'm finding my way, but I am. So there's nothing for me to be worrying about. You see?